What's up, guys? What's up? It's your girl D from the Voice Gathering Live podcast show. We got less than 3 minutes to start the show. So come on in, grab your whatever, get your wine, kick your feet up, get your phone in hand, get to your computer, and join the conversation as we break down gender roles and how it impacts relationships and open the floor to open conversation. Make sure you guys come into this room with your questions, get involved in the conversation because it is only interesting when you are sharing your voice. Where my people at? Where my people at? There's no show unless you're here. So come on and join the show. Don't forget, we're here every Friday at 7 o'clock. And on Tuesday, Tea Time with VG as we spill the tea at 6:30. So the show don't start until you come into the door. Come in the door and enjoy the conversation. We got less than a minute. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, now it's time for what? It's time to join the experience. So, as always, with that being said, let the show begin. Disclaimer: I am a podcaster, motivational speaker, and full time counselor. And here on this platform, it is my job to talk about current affairs and trending topics that have been discussed, posted, and even floating around on social media. I do not claim to be the voice for all, nor do I claim to know it all. Therefore, remember this if you remember nothing at all. It is okay that we agree to disagree, as long as it is respectful. Every Friday at 7 p.m., I will be talking about whatever I like, and you will have the opportunity to share your voice. Now, if you can handle it, have a seat, and if you can't, feel free to exit stage left. With that being said, let the discussion begin. What's up, guys? What is going on? It's your girl D from the Voice Gathering Live podcast show, and we are in the building. Hey, guys, what's going on? What is up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Now, yep, this show has started, and we don't want to delay. We want to get right into the conversation. I'm looking around at my platform to see who's out there, where you guys are at. Now, we had a great show Friday last week. Tea time with VG was awesome, but you guys got to keep it going. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. Come into the room and enjoy the conversation. As you can see from the title below, today's conversation is about, do you subscribe to gender roles and how those roles play a part in your relationship? So I want to have a conversation with you guys to see what role you play in the relationship, and when those roles bump heads with the other person, how do you manage those hiccups in the relationship? You know, we are talking about equality, equal pay, equal responsibilities. One role should not be better than the other role. Women can do this, men can take care of that. And, you know, I'm finding as we talk about inclusiveness, and when we talk about relationships and what roles people play in those relationships, I oftentimes see people. I see things shifting from when I was a kid to where I am now as an adult, and how that plays a role. So I want to give you time to get into the chat. I'm hoping that you guys receive the notification. Um, and I don't want to go too far without you guys being here. However, if we move on, and we will move on with the show to keep in timeline, you guys can always go back to the show, watch the show, post your comments, and tell me what you thought about today's topic. All right, so let's just get right to it. So, the question is gender roles and how those roles impact relationships and how we move about in today's time, right? I remember there was a time where um, I remember growing up and seeing people older who was older in relationships, and they played these parts that we had become accustomed to. The wife would stay home, or the woman would stay home, and she would take care of the children. She would have a very small um, non-paying job, so that she can take care of the family, and she can cook for the husband, provide for the children, keep the house clean, and all those different things. Time moved and shift, and now women are taking more of a dominant role in their relationships and in the workforce. And I'm wondering from the viewers who will watch this show, how do you see those roles impacting how we parent, how we date, how we open our minds to other people who we are interested in? An example of that is women making more money than men. Women are driving tractor trailers, and men are staying home and taking care of the kids. How is that played a part in your relationship, or how it plays a part in just you viewing relationships? All right, let me just pause with that question. I want to make sure that you guys are have gotten the notification, so let me just check some people. Let's see. Because we all know that the company can act a fool. But then again, it was like 70 something degrees today. And although the coronavirus is out there lurking, it wouldn't surprise me that people had went out and enjoyed their day. Hold on. Let's see. I'd just like to ask a couple people if they received the notification, because I don't want people to miss the show if it was an error on um, technical part or whatever. But nevertheless, we want to just keep the show moving because we don't want to stretch it too long. Again, the show on Fridays is typically an hour, but when the conversation is good and people are willing to stretch it a couple of minutes, I don't mind that. But the conversation has to be flowing. People have to be involved. People have to be sharing and participating, because I don't want to take up time that you guys don't want to spend. So, anywho, again, we are talking about today is what gender roles you play and how you view gender roles in today's society, how those roles impact you in relationships, parenting your children, and what message does it send to the millennials and younger people, even your kids nowadays. I am a little bit curious about that. How does that play a role in what you do now? I was saying before that people tend to think that I definitely believe things have changed on how people view things. But I have come across people. This is why this conversation came up on today's show. Was people were There's some people still stuck in believing that women should not make as more money than men. Their women should actually be the one to raise the children and stay home, and a man should not be able or should not be required, let me say, to sacrifice his career or his goals to have a family. And that's a little bit like well, let me not even say a little bit. That's something I don't subscribe to. Let's just say that I don't subscribe to that a woman needs to be home taking care of the kids. I like Don't get me wrong, I like what I knew when I was a kid. And I knew that oh gosh, hold on guys, sorry. I you know people okay. So Loretta, you say you see me. Awesome. But why aren't you commenting in the chats on YouTube? Sorry, guys. Hold on. You know what's so funny? Actually, as the show continues to grow, and people come on and want to be a part, and this studio turn into something more, um, I don't even know what the word is. As the studio grows, and I can ask people want to be a part of the process, I won't have to answer the text messages that people are sending during the show, which is why I send a lot of messages to you guys saying, listen, don't forget 7 o'clock notifications on so that you can get it. Go right over to YouTube so you can be a part of the conversation. Anywho, let's keep pressing forward. So, um, hey, Miss Alexander. Oh, Miss Kendra is in the building. She says she don't see no comments. Who is in the building? Anyhow, the gender roles. How do those roles impact people today? Right now, we know that people are always jumping in and saying, oh, you know what? She should stay home and take care of the kids. It's her responsibility to be a mother to the children. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If that's her role, then she didn't make the child by herself. What if the man is laid off? What if he doesn't have a job? He doesn't have a career. She makes more money. How do you feel about her taking on that lead in that relationship? Her being the sole provider for the time being. Her being the one who makes the more money and makes the sacrifice. I see you, Lakeisha. Thanks for letting me know you're on. I am wondering about that. Hello, Miss Finney. Welcome to the show for the first time. We got a virgin in the building, honey. She's been part of the process for a long time. That is who actually does my. Oh, welcome to the show. We got two virgins in the building. That's my girlfriend Loretta and my girlfriend Rhonda. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here. Don't forget, before you leave, make sure you click that like button. I want to say that because that's the first opening of the show. Don't forget to click the like button. I'm sure the moderators will continue to remind you to do that. Post your comments and share your thoughts. Anywho, I am talking about gender roles in relationships. I know I said that before, but what is your thoughts about that? I don't have a problem with a man staying home if he is laid off, looking for employment. If we're having children and I make way more money where he can take care of those kids, stay home for a period of time, and allow me to continue to make the money. And when he gets this career moving position, he can then actually jump on board and then we can go ahead and pay for childcare. I think gender roles should be somewhat equal. Nevertheless, when we're in a gender role position, we have to remember. I think a lot of that's been moving out the door. Gender roles take on people. Don't Men don't want to open doors for you. Men don't feel like pulling out your chair. Men don't see like you should go through the door first. I'm telling you, as we take on gender roles, it changes the dynamic of how we move forward in society. Uh, I agree, Loretta. I don't think it matters who makes the most money, but does money constitute what role you play in the relationship? That's a question for you. I agree, Lakeisha. People should do what's good for their family. But remember, guys, I love the comments, but I want us to go a little bit deeper in the comments. Yes, people should do what makes them happy. But overall, when you look at this topic more broad, there is a power struggle in what women's role are in the relationship and what men's roles are in the relationship, and then also what those roles play when you apply for jobs, who stays home and take care of the children, who sacrifice their career so the other person can have a career and then they come on later. Oftentimes it has been women sacrificing their roles, their positions, their dreams, their goals, so that the man can be the lead in the relationship. He can be the breadwinner in that relationship. Again, I am just a little bit confused by that. So hold on, guys. I see somebody keeps sending me messages, but their messages are okay. I'm surprised. Miss Alexander, I don't see your name in the chats, but I see your comments coming up elsewhere. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we'll figure it out. It shouldn't. It should be called partnership. Yes, but should and is are two different things. And I'm wondering, on a scale 1 to 5, guys, 5 meaning that you see it more equally nowadays, or you don't. Where do you see relationships at? Do you think that 5 meaning that they're equal and people are respecting those positions and they don't impact the gender role in those relationships, or are they impacting relationships between those two people? And we are specifically at this time of the conversation talking about men and women in the relationship, because two same sex couples, they are making sacrifices in those relationships as well. But what we're trying to do is do a comparison between men and women and those roles. Yep, I see the comments. I absolutely agree. But again, I will repeat that the reason I brought this show topic today was because people were talking to me and saying, "Well, D, he does not believe he should stay home, although I make twice as much as he does." And he's working part time. He believes that I should pause since I want to have children, or actually more children, and he go to work, hope to get an increase in pay, and come full time. Check that, full time, and me sacrifice my position and my goals, my goals and roles in my job. I don't understand. I absolutely do not understand. I am not willing to sacrifice my career for my relationship. I believe I can have my career and my relationship, because that depends on who I'm in the relationship with. From the door, he has to respect the fact that I am a career going goal woman, and that I won't settle for in his pockets. I do not rely on my husband's money. I don't. I do not. I rely on my ability to make my own income. Therefore, if I'm making my own income, it should not impact my relationship. Let me join the conversation with you guys and see what your comments are. Let's see. Yes, Lakeisha, you're absolutely right. And again, the person who brought this idea of topic to me, that's exactly why I said, well, let's have a conversation about it. Because why is it that men, and it would be good if there were more men in the chats with us, and they will come eventually. Sometimes we have a few that pops in. Hey, Tisha, now welcome to the show. Remember that um, um, men do see that he should be the breadwinner. But what if his bread is not enough? What if his bread is less? Honey, he got 3/4 of a bread and you got the whole loaf. Like, let's back it up a second. Let's say you don't have a family. You haven't started a family yet. You've been dating for a year, a little over a year. You know you want to have a family with this individual, and he says he loves you, but he's not willing to allow you to, keyword, allow you to be the breadwinner until he can get his come up game. Or you be the breadwinner and you still make more money than he makes. And you end up started calling a little bit of the shots. You see how this changed? First, we start from making the money, more money. And then all of a sudden, this role we start stepping in is a little bit more dominant. We start saying what and if and how and when. I think that's why men have a difficult time women being the breadwinner, because it kind of disempowers him, or he sees it. Let me say that. He sees it disempowers him somewhat, a little bit, however he sees it, how much he sees it. And she starts stepping up and making those decisions that oftentimes are made by men. And I'm a little, stumped on how do you handle those relationships? How do you handle those difficult times? Matter of fact, guys, I didn't see anybody do any rating from 1 to 5, 5 being that it is very difficult for you or people to open up the roles in those relationships. But I want to now ask you guys this. Have you ever come across anyone, or yourself, if you want to share, that you have been in a situation where your gender and maybe impact became a concern, was questionable, whatever it is, in your relationships at any point, when you started dating, when you got married, when you divorced, whatever? Okay, Tisha, now one. Loretta said, women had these jobs 50 years and now he's feeling below us. But how do you handle that? Put yourself in that situation. You truly love this man. You love him. You are, I mean, like, love him. You see your future with him. But he is struggling in the relationship because you are the breadwinner, because you make more money than him. That people tend to come to you for an answer. People tend to ask you questions. They want you to sign the contract. How do you handle those relationships? Loretta says, sit down and shut up. Oh my goodness. I am so shocked to Miss Alexander. I see, where are your comments popping up at? Miss Alexander, do you see the comments? Are you in the chat? I'm confused. Let me see. Well, I'm not going to get. Okay, Loretta says she's not going to get McDonald welfare because he's at McDonald's. Okay. I'm just curious. I'm curious. There are people that's going to look at this show, and there are going to be women looking at the show. And remember, those small subgroups that's going to be on Facebook, private groups where people can go in there and have an in-depth conversation about today's topic or any topic, or just post a question in there so that we can bring it to the platform if those individuals are open to that, so that we can support each other in the conversation. So I'm just asking, what advice would you give someone who is struggling in the relationship because of their gender? Because she makes more money and he makes less. She wants the family with him. She wants to be his wife and carry his name, but he struggles that he is walking behind her and not in front of her. I tell you that it would not be a problem for me, but it only would become a problem if he would expect me to give up my career and my dreams so that he can feel more masculine. That's a problem. I'm not willing to sacrifice my happiness and my growth because he is struggling to understand. Let's just look at something here, because this is how they identify us in, as far as traditional gender stereotypes, right? So I want to share this with you guys so that you can see. what they say. I want to make it so you can see. So it's a little bit is going to cover me. This is how stereotypes are. Check it out. This is what they say, right? Here we go. Women, not aggressive, dependent, easily influenced, submissive, passive, home orientated, easily hurt emotionally, indecisive, talkative, gentle, cries a lot, emotional, verbal, traceful, nurturing. That's how they describe us as women. Men, aggressive, independent, not easily influenced, dominant, active, worldly, not easily hurt emotionally, deceive, not at all talkative, tough, rarely cries, logic. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But do you believe that we as women actually carry some of those traits that men carry? Take a minute and look at that chart, guys, because this is how we are identified by our gender. I'm just saying. I am just saying. That's the stereotype traditional genders are identified by. I just thought that you would look at it and tell me what you thought. Because, it says that, let's make sure we got everything right. It says that this is how we are identified. I want to share a video with you guys from the singer Fantasia. So Fantasia and her husband came on and posted something on Instagram, and they on Instagram it got shared all over, and people were talking about it. And again, it comes to roles. Now, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong. If you know anything about Fantasia and her husband or the relationship, this also plays a part in the conversation of gender roles. And when does a woman take a back seat? When does she become a lead? Does she walk side by side? Listen, we don't always walk side by side in our relationships. Yeah, that's cute. It's cute and it sounds good. But we're talking on this platform, what? Let's keep it 100. We don't always walk side by side. I think emotionally, for me, I want to walk side by side with you. But sometimes I need to take the lead. In my relationship, and people that know me, and my husband will actually attest to this. I oftentimes take the lead in what I need to get done. Not that he can't. I just tend to. I don't wait for permission. I step up in that position and I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute now. We're not going to do it this way. I mean, I got some questions. And you should see the men who look at me. I mean, we were just at the auto place and we were having our car some maintenance done to the car. They quoted my husband a different rate. And I'm like, okay, well, he tells me this, and then we go to get the car, and there's a whole new rate. And my husband asked the question. He did. And he was like, well, wait a minute. This is what I was quoted. And the guy said, oh, well, I wasn't the person to take the information, but this is what he wrote down on the receipt. This is what it cost to have the job completed. And so he pulls out his card and he get ready to pay. And I'm like, well, wait, hold up a second. No. No, 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 no. And honey, you should have seen his face. His face was like, wait a minute now. Why are you talking? Now he didn't have a like, why are you talking? But he looked at me like, oh, well, I was talking to him. And in my mind, I'm like, no, but I'm talking to you. You quoted a price. This is what it is. So again, I think sometimes my significant other looks like, oh, okay, she's about to blow a gasket. But it's not a gasket. It's just that just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I'm afraid to speak up. Or I need to wait for you to talk first. No. Okay. Yes. Okay, inside smile to myself. Wait, let's see. What's going on in the comments? Check this. What's going on here? Okay, wait. I want to. This is how they. Oh, hold on, guys. I'm gonna come over a little bit because I want to share this here. I think sometimes gender roles and they get the game twisted really quickly. And isn't it funny that today's show is about gender roles? And the last couple of shows that we've had guys in the comments posting things. So I cannot wait to the men join the platform and get involved in the conversation because this is how we're going to learn from each other. We can really get to see what a man is thinking, how he view things, opposed to how we as women view things. And we're not talking about always being emotional as they depict us. I absolutely agree, R. Finley. If you lose yourself, no one will be happy. I'm not willing to lose me. But again, I want to look at this here. It's pointing out that men, again, are logical, rational, aggressive, explosive, uh, really. And we are intuitive, emotional, submissive. I am not submissive. Mm-mm. I'm definitely not submissive. No. I know how to be submissive, but I wouldn't say I'm submissive in my relationship. And again, let's break down what is being submissive. What is submissive? Do you think that at this point in time we should be actually eliminating gender roles? And how eliminating gender roles will impact our the generations coming after us? How would they really impact those relationships? If oh my gosh, I want to be so respectful because people can take your words out of content without asking the question and getting clarity. But um, mm, I think I better save that question because I want to have an expert on when we talk about gender, boys, girls, and when boys are raised by a woman or more by women? Is he picking up the roles of that woman opposed to picking up a role more of a masculine? What's accepted in society as a male? I just wonder what that is. And I'm looking to have more people come on the show that can enlighten us. It's no, listen, we're going to have fun, but we also going to we need to learn something, right? We need to have fun while we learn something. I agree. Not for nothing. Sometimes your man needs just needs a damn break. Who wants to be in charge all the damn time? I trust me. That is such a good comment because I like to just hand over the reins. Like, but you need to take charge. Now, if I'm handing over the reins to get things done, you can't not pick up the reins. You need to pick them up and like make things happen. I don't mind, walking behind. When I say walking behind, meaning you lead, you make the decision, you make things happen, you get the job done. I do not mind that at all. I think it's actually quite sexy to tell you the truth. Going back with something that kind of to what Lakeisha was saying. Sometimes men are judged by other people, especially men, as being weak and not in charge because his wife is in charge and making money and making decisions that typically again men would do. So men do not man men do not have it easy, even when they are allowing their wife, girlfriend, whomever to take a lead in that situation. Yes, I'm smiling because yes, the decision making needs to be shared. But Are they shared? Overall, if we were to do research and stuff like that, do you think that the numbers would show favorable that responsibilities and roles in relationships are shared nowadays in 2020, opposed to they really aren't shared, and that's what we're just saying? What do you think? In the next about 7:40, guys, we're gonna open up we're gonna open up the floor to have just off-topic conversation, meaning that if you got a question, everybody in the chats can we all can share and give some feedback to that. See, I don't like making decisions because something goes wrong. It's easy. So there is a male in the group, and he says that I don't like making decisions because if something goes wrong, it's easier to blame the wife. And probably not balanced. Okay, interesting. Guys, you can keep talking about that the topic. Keep posting your comments. If something come up, put it in the comment section. I want to ask you a question when we're talking about gender role, and this is a segue into this next thing. Is is people? I'm asking you, and you let me know. Do you believe that love is love? And when you look at this question, I see we're doing a little slow mode. I'm not sure. Oh, we are no. Oh my gosh, guys, you probably can hear me, but I see that it's buffering over there. Can you still hear me? Guys, can you still hear me? Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? All right, guys, I don't know if you can still hear me, so let me just check over here and see what's going on. It seems like it's buffering. You probably see me moving around here, but we don't. I'm not sure what happened, guys. And I do not want to close out the conversation. So please post. Oh, oh. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear, guys. Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Don't even ask me what happened. But hold on. Let's see if we can. I got you guys in standby. And now people can see what it is, what happens when what it takes for me to actually get this show going. I'm here. All right, guys, I'm here. So can you see me now? Can you see me? Yep, I know you couldn't see me. Can you see me now? All right, guys. So, nevertheless, this is what I mean about growing the platform. Yes, I'm black. Thank you. Thanks for staying around. Those who are still in the comments, thanks for staying around. Again, every time the show gets good, something happens. But this is what I mean about a woman being in charge. You got to get it all done. So, nevertheless, we're still here. We want to wrap up the conversation with a couple questions. Again, I'm going to remind people that the your contributions to this show, you don't see it now, but right where you're posting your comments, at some point when the show becomes monetized, it's going to be an opportunity for you to make your donations to the show. Those donations will go into the show, and it would allow me to fix some of these little glitches that are happening that requires me to get a more powerful moving system, increase speed, this and that. But it'll get done one way or another. As if you know me, you know that a chick gets it done. Anywho, not discouraged. So I was talking to you guys about the question: do you consider love just that? I want to show you this video, and the video is of Fantasia talking about her relationship with her husband. Tell me what you think about this video. Okay, hold on. Of course, yes, I'm setting up the shot for you guys so you can see it. All right, tell me what you think. Here we go.
Okay. So, um, we are we talk a lot. I just got home. He just got home. We were in New York for Fashion Week, and then he had to fly out to go speak um, at the prisons, and I had to continue to keep working. So, I went up to the Breakfast Club, and I enjoyed it. And
Proud of you too.
thanks, babe. We were just wrapping it up and talking, and I was speaking. Yeah. So when I got back home, he had kind of said something that piggybacked off what I was saying, and I thought it was so dope coming from the male perspective that I felt like the male and the female should hear.
So here's the issue. Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers. What's happened is men have abused that power. Forgive me, they've abused that gift. And we have been misled to think that it's something where it's a dominant spirit and we own every decision, we dictate everything, we rule with an iron fist. First of all, that's not love. What happens is, in my marriage, let me not speak for everybody, my marriage, I submit daily to the Most High. I stay in my scriptures. I continue to feed myself with things that help me build my character, to reshape my perspective that was messed up in the streets and dealing with different propaganda and programming and things like that, so that I can come to my wife from a pure position. So when I do that and she sees me and she witnesses over time that it's an authentic demonstration, her heart is moved and softened and compelled to submit to me.
Yeah.
What does that look like? That doesn't mean that I dictate every decision. I don't walk around the house saying what we're going to spend, how we're going to do it. We talk and we build. And I consider everything that's on her heart, her perspective, her position, her philosophy. I'll carefully weave that into my philosophy to figure out what's the best move for this family, keeping all of that in mind. Now, the moment I start to step outside of righteousness and I start to move from a place of emotion instead of analytics, she has every right to snatch that back, because submission is a gift. When she sees me laying at the foot of the Father, She has no reason to withhold that from me. The problem is this. Men are not found in positions of leadership handling it with integrity. How you gonna lead your wife if you can't balance a checkbook? If you don't know what's going on in the stock market? You don't have a sound understanding of the finances. You can't create a budget. You don't understand what's going on in the educational system in your community that's impacting your kids. In order to lead, you gotta be so far ahead of your family that by the time they come to you with a situation or a problem, you've already dived into it, done your due diligence so that you can give leadership. You don't lead from your genitals. You lead from a gentle place of understanding. And the more she trusts, the more she can let go of things that she don't have to deal with and focus on the things that edify her. It ain't about money. We both hustlers. It's not about a dollar for dollar thing because we're one unit.
Yeah.
If I fall, she falls. If she falls, I fall. Submission is solely about trust.
I think when women hear the word submission, we're like, what?
Yeah.
Submitting. With my husband, like he said, to piggyback off what he just said, it was what he demonstrated. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't come in and say, all right, like he said, the budget is this for that, this is and the third. I watched how he did things. I watched how he budgeted. I watched him. And then I slowly became him. And I submitted in that. Yeah, now I think I'm more frugal than him. And that's not even being like, gotta be frugal because we don't have it. It's just being smart. And the word, if you dig deep in the word with your partner, you'll start to see a lot of things that we're talking about. But yeah, I like that he broke that down because I'm a very strong woman. I like what I like. I'm very strong. But when it comes to allowing him to cover and lead this home, I sit back and allow him to do that, and it makes me better. Wow, that like.
Lead by example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want your wife to be humble, walk in humility. If you want your wife to forgive you, be quick to forgive. If you want your wife to consider, following you down a specific path, prove to her that you got the blueprint and that she's not following you to some unknown destination. My wife don't have to follow anything that she don't see me demonstrating.
Yeah.
So master the thing before you go out and try to teach it. It's like sometimes you see cats, as soon as they get a book and they read something, they start running, trying to teach people on it, but you haven't applied it and gone through the proving grounds of being able to master that information yourself. So leadership is a forward-thinking thing. And when you do that, women's natural instinct is going to be to trust, to be able to submit their hearts. But again, this ain't a dominant thing.
Nah.
And I want my wife cold as me because if something ever happens to me, she don't like having
He
that
always
conversation.
say that.
If something ever happens to me, she need to know how to get that bag. She need to understand where the money's at. She need to know how to ask the right questions. I ain't telling you to ask nobody nothing. You tell them what belongs to you. She can't do that if I'm controlling everything. So my wife needs to be a direct female reflection of the man that I am. Facts.
Come on now.
You come on.
I always said the wise woman once told me, the older women used to tell me, stop, boy.
What up?
The woman is the neck and the man is the head. And without the neck, the head can't move.
Two heads is just a head, but see how that works. See how that works.
So yeah. And I'm gonna end it with this. We ain't perfect and we ain't trying to be perfect. We still growing. And we just wanna share that with all those out there that's still growing and want.
And get clarity. Don't be trying to twist my wife's words up at the end of the day because I'm proud of her for standing.
They try to do that?
Man, whatever to them. At the end of the day, we want to make sure there's clarity to what she said and the understanding and be able to hear the force behind what she is saying so it don't get tangled and twisted. It ain't for everybody. Do your thing. But for women out there who truly desire that and men who want to step up to the call, we just wanted to take time out, make sure we bring clarity to our demonstration and hope that it's fruit for you and your lives. And watch how God bless. Straight like that.
Mine.
Salute.
Okay.
What you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts? I thought that the video was very, very informative. I like the fact that Fantasia opened up and shared that part of her husband with us so that we can have a look at that from someone in her position, But what do you think? I thought it was quite interesting. I truly did. And I'm going to share more information. Loved it. Yep. Okay, Loretta, you liked it. Great. I'm going to share more content like that of Fantasia. She tends to talk like that quite often. I think that's part of her niche. That's who she is. She talks about that neck and that head. The man can't move the head can't move without the neck moving. And if the woman is the neck and the man is the head, and people pay attention, the head is considered the head of the house, the head of the family, the head of that. But again, when we talked about gender roles and how those roles emerge to each together, or they actually take different platforms and cause problems in the relationship. Are you in a relationship where women, you are the neck? You know that you're the neck. You know your position in the body of that relationship, and he is the head. And even though if he takes a back seat and you could moving in your career, getting things done, making decisions without seeking his advice or calling him and saying, what do you think about that? Again, his advice. Do you and he understand and look at your relationship in that manner, or you don't? Oh, welcome, Tina. You're definitely. Are you saying you're definitely? Oh, okay. The neck. Got it. Okay. All right. So you're the neck. I really wish more guys were in the chat, because I would wonder, do men, is there a man, do any of you know any men that would say he's actually the neck? Again, gender roles. Come on, let's be clear, people. We are talking about gender roles, and we are living in different times than when we were kids. When you're talking about the late 80s, you're talking about this the late 70s. I remember that even my grandparents, my grandmother at times was the head and he was the neck. Oh, matter of fact, Kendra, do you know that that's Loretta? Loretta, that was from back in the day. Loretta, just want to let you know what Loretta that is. That's Loretta that knew about voice gathering way back when, so that you have an idea who you're talking to. But yeah, guys, I wanted to share that with you because I wanted us to just have an open conversation about what gender roles and what our views are, and how those views impact relationships and how people see us in those relationships. I definitely believe that a woman can be the head of the house in a way when there's a man not there. There's no other choice. There is no male role in that position. But I do like for myself, I'm speaking just for me, that a man is the head of the house, and I got a strong neck. So when that neck move, you can best believe I'm moving him in a direction that's going to benefit the both of us. That's how I see it. I agree. There's still one unit. I absolutely agree that there are still one unit. So I want to bring this point of the show before we wrap up for any questions, any suggestions, any thoughts about today's show outside of internet speed that seemed to have been the problem why we slowed down and we lost some connection. But what do you guys have to say other than what we're talking about? Any questions, comments? Let me see really quickly, guys. First, if you're enjoying the show, tell me the truth. I know we got 9 likes, 6 people watching, but if you're enjoying the show, drop some diamonds down, especially if you already liked, because you can't like more than once with the like button. But you can always throw your diamonds in the comments. Tell me this is something that you thought was an interesting conversation. Also, let me know if it's something else you would have liked to see us talk about, like me to bring. Let me give you guys a minute to get that question. Drop your comments with some diamonds if you like today's show. Did you feel this topic was beneficial? It was enlightening? You like the flow of the chat between people in the comments? Okay, Loretta, first show. You're no longer a virgin, Loretta. Every Friday, 7 o'clock. We don't always have hiccups with the show, especially because things been resolved. So be here. Let people hear, because you have such good feedback. I like that. I'm so glad that Artina has made it to YouTube. So glad to see you over here. look. Oh, you know that was Loretta. Awesome. Kendra made it back on time. I'm so sorry we don't see Kendra's mom. Another big fan of the Voice Gathering platform, but I'm sure she'll catch us at a later time. As always, glad to see I Rob and Lakeisha in the comments. Any other questions, guys? Thanks, Tina. Appreciate it. Oh, your mom is here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry I didn't see her. Welcome, Donna. Glad you're back. Um, oh, we got 10 likes, people. People liked. I love the Yes, I absolutely thank you, Lakeisha. I absolutely agree. That hearing other people's perspective. I'm sitting here in front of the camera on the mic, but it doesn't stop here. It actually starts in the comments because I'm bringing the topic to you guys, and you guys tell me if you like it, if you don't like it, if it's relevant, relative. Am I saying the word right? I'm not even going to try to say it because I feel like I'm tongue tied. But if it's conducive to how we are moving right now in today's time, is how I thought it was good. Oh, I see you. There you go. Yes, I'm glad you love the show. Now, question before you guys leave the platform. What other topics do you want on this show? And second question, once would you participate in the group forum on Facebook in between shows when you have an opportunity? There you'll be able to drop more suggestions for show topics in the groups. What do you think? Let me see, Kendra. Okay, now, Kendra. All right, well, wait a minute now. Hold on, hold on. I'm giving people time to. Okay, so Loretta says she would text the topic and I pick. Um, let's see. Let's see. Yes. I'm dropping some comments, some diamonds in the comments myself because I love that. I absolutely love that. Kendra, let me just read. Let me just say I am the boss at my job, and when I'm in these when I'm moving these streets, I feel so good to come home and lay my boss hat down and trust the kingdom won't come tumbling down. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I like it. And I'm sure we all can agree. All right, guys. So listen, Kendra. All right, guys. So here again, not going to hold you long. I'm so glad that you guys stayed around with the show, even with its glitches. I understand that. I want to hear more suggestions from you guys. I can't stress that enough. If I hear more suggestions, I can do the homework and bring the conversation to the platform, and we can get in these comments and just tear it apart. So please don't wait. Also, let me just say, you may get a notification throughout the week because as this coronavirus child, as this coronavirus continues to impede on us and our freedom, our moving about, people have asked me, oh, I just noticed that I have not seen my girl Dawn. So something has to be up. So, Dawn, I hope that you and your family are okay. But again, that lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. That because the coronavirus is out there and they're shutting things down, you can't be out in the streets like you want to be out in the streets. I know that I'm taking precautions. I hope you're doing the same. We may be popping in and out of the show platform, so you may get a notification. I would encourage you, if you got time, come on over to the platform, join the conversation. I'm going to open up a lot of the time that we're away from our job, although we have to work from home, an open conversation. So I'm not going to come with a topic. I'm just going to say, what's the topic to you guys? And whatever you say it is, we're going to touch on it. What do you think about that? I hope you like it, because I'm liking it. Don't forget. Here, let me just remind people. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at voice_gathering_live. Also, we're on Twitter at Voice Gathering, and then we're on Facebook at Voice Gathering Show. So you can follow the platform there. You can also make suggestions there. Say, I'm a part of the community. I'm part of the Black Diamonds. And what I want is to be able to I just can't. You can't. I just see a freaking pause, guys. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, okay. I just did a whole pause. Like, did this really happen? I'm like, really? This cannot be happening when people are back. But nevertheless, drop in the comments. Let us know what you want to see, and we will very much bring that to the show topic. Okay, the show platform. Sorry. Can we get some additional shows since? Yes, Lakeisha, you absolutely can. Yes, you absolutely can get more shows. That's why it's so important that you guys give me some ideas of what you want to see me talk about. Not me talk about what we're going to talk about. I'm only going to be responding to what you guys are bringing. So we'd look to probably, let's cross our fingers, have something pop up tomorrow. Or if not tomorrow, Sunday. And so, everybody know what Sunday is. It's rest day. And rest day, we give honor to who? And if we give an honor to who, we're meditating on who. And if we meditate on who, that might be the topic on Sunday's show. If we do a show on Sunday. Let's see how real you guys and how deep you want to get. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Love you so much. Please don't forget to post your questions so that we can get an answer from our experts in the chats, because you guys are the experts, and we will talk about it on the show. Until next time, I'm going to sign off by saying acceptance is being invited to have a seat at the table. Always. I'm always encouraging you guys to have a seat at this table. Please join me at the table. Virtually join the show at the table. And remember, inclusion is having a voice. So every one of you who share your voices in your voice in the comments, that is you taking your power and getting involved. And as always, belonging is having your voice heard. So I created the platform for you to be heard. All you need to do is just share your voice. Until next time, guys, much love and always be safe. Bye.